Hello. Well, this is going to be a very strange video. I've never done this before, but I'm about to do my makeup and my skincare. And I thought, what better time than to talk about body confidence and stuff like that. Hold that thought. Throughout my life, I've struggled with body confidence and self-confidence and body image and stuff like that. And I think I still know the root of it. I think I've always known it, but lately it's been brought to my mind a lot. And from the title of this video, you'll probably know what I'm gonna say. What you say to a teenage girl matters a lot. So I've always been struggling with my weight, you know. I was always the chubby kid, and when I was a kid, I heard a lot, mainly from my family, like, you know, aunties, and my grandma was a very, very honest person. As much as I loved her, she's passed away now. And my mum, you know, I've always heard things like, are you sure you want to eat that? Look at you, you're getting a bit chubby. Or even things like, oh, look at these lovely chubby cheeks, you know, very lovingly, no harm meant kind of way. So I know this lighting is terrible. That's probably good because you can't see how ugly I really am. I've always heard comments like that, you know. Even to this day, my mom like talks a lot about this one time that when I was like 4 or 3, I think, I was only a really little kid, and I kept begging me to give me one more of these like croquette things. And she was like, no, you've already had so many, you can't have another one. And I was like, oh, are you trying to starve me? And she still remembers it. And I don't remember doing that, but I remember her telling me about that over and over again over the years, even like recently, you know, 30 odd years down the line. And there was another thing that happened. I had an uncle who lived abroad, and one Christmas when he came to visit, in his Christmas wishes to me, he said these words: I wish you to get slimmer, because if you ever come to visit me, I wouldn't want a fat pig to be running around my garden. So yay, very loving uncle. And that, as you can tell, is still with me. And I think at the time I was probably about 14. So imagine, it was like the most vulnerable age for a girl to, when, you know, she shapes her body image and confidence and stuff like that. So it was not nice. Later in life, I learned that I have PCOS, and that's why, you know, I really struggle with my weight all my life. And not just weight, but like, you know, body hair and even facial hair. and other things. This is going to be like really TMI, so if you know. Anyways, which, you know, PCOS is a serious thing. It's not just about weight, but the bigger problem of PCOS is obviously infertility, and yeah, but all of that, what I've heard throughout my life, shaped my mind in a terrible way. I mean, it affected, obviously, the way I thought of myself. I never think, even to this day, I'm still learning all of this, you know. I don't think I'm pretty. I don't, you know, I struggle to, like, see myself as a beautiful woman. I try to, you know, look after myself, but I always feel like whatever I do is just not good enough. You know, it's not good enough. It's affected my relationship with food. It's affected my relationship with people, with my parents and, you know, uncles and aunties and whoever said things like that to me, you know. I never really, well, maybe I did, but I don't remember hearing compliments really on the way I look, the way I dress. My parents were not wealthy, far from it, and even when they did have money, they had different ideas of spending that money, so they never bothered about the clothes that we wore, our appearance, and they were just never bothered about stuff like that. So I got a lot of grief from even my peers about the clothes that I was wearing and how I looked and stuff like that, you know. This lovely gap between my teeth, you know, my parents never thought that it might be a good idea to get me braces or anything like that to fix that. And it definitely affected my relationship with boys and then later in life with men, because I was just so hungry for compliments. I was so hungry for a bit of attention, like, you know, body image attention, and just approval, I guess, that really any boy that would tell me, oh, you're so pretty, or I fancy you, or whatever, you know, I was like instantly in love. Don't get me wrong, I was always very, what's the word, shy. And I can't say that I did seek attention. Maybe I did, I don't know. But when somebody impromptu gave me that attention, I was like all up for it. I never, you know, I was too shy to like go kissing blokes and kissing boys and, you know, whatever. But I was always craving that. I mean, it probably stems from all the other issues in my life, you know, just like the household that I was brought up in, and sorry, a bit of grossness. I hate the foundation on my lips. Oh, I don't know how girls can just leave it. Okay, I'll put lip balm on, that might be better. So yeah, I mean, I didn't have like many boyfriends or anything like that, you know. Loads of my friends would like change their boyfriends or would have one serious boyfriend, and I just had like, you know, a couple of weeks with somebody and then nothing for a long time, and then 3 months with somebody else. I've only had like a handful of boyfriends throughout my life. But, you know, there were guys that I probably normally wouldn't even be interested in if it wasn't for the fact that they approved of me, my looks, and whatever else, you know. So yeah, and then later in life, I was 17 when I became a Christian. And I can't say that my body image had improved or, you know, anything like that. But when I was about 17, just after I became a Christian, I started my first like a really serious relationship, which actually, you know, lasted 3.5 years. We were engaged to be married. It didn't work out in the end, but that's another story. But even in that relationship, things were, it was very interesting because I was really trying to I was really trying to get his approval all the time in the way I looked. So if he said that he really liked my long hair, I would never cut it. If he said, I don't think this top is very good for you, I wouldn't wear that top. Or, you know, it got to a point when I didn't feel very girly at all, because he would always say that, oh, I prefer you just in jeans and t-shirt and a hoodie kind of thing. So that's what I would do, because I knew that I would get his approval. Well, you know what? It's only really, I'm only like really recognizing some certain things now as I'm speaking to you about it. But, you know, even when it came to planning the wedding, he would say to me, oh, I would say, well, what do you think about a dress? What kind of dress should I wear? And he would say, well, for me, the best thing for you to wear would be jeans and t-shirt on your wedding day. And I'm like, yeah, but I just want to feel like a princess for one day, you know, just like most girls do. But excuse me, that wasn't, anyway, never mind. I'll tell you about that whole thing in another video probably. But I remember this one moment where we were gonna go to prom or whatever, like a school, you know, end of school dance kind of thing. And I designed my own dress and had it made. My lovely grandma paid for this dress to be made. And it was beautiful. It wasn't quite the way I wanted it, because I think I wanted like a V neck, but my fiance at the time would not agree with it, so it had to be like, you know, really not very flattering for my shape at all. But you know, he approved of that kind of straight cut, so that's what it was. But nevertheless, it was beautiful. I had two friends who were a few years older than me, kind of more mature in serious relationships. They did my hair and they did my makeup, and it was just, you know, I just felt really nice for the first time. I felt like a real young woman, you know. And then he came through the door to pick me up, and he said, wash your face or we're not going. And that really, it was a big deal. it was a big deal. Not that I had like a full-on makeup, but you know, I had not even foundation or anything like that back then. I never wore makeup to school or anything. I was all new to it. My mum wasn't she wasn't a very girly girl, so I never had that kind of girliness embedded in me. I didn't have older sisters. I only had 2 older brothers. And he said that to me, and it was literally like a slap on the face. I think his kind of issue was, you know, he didn't want other boys to look at me. He didn't want me to get approval from any other men, which is, you know, I understand that, but I think it was like, you know, taken to the next level. And then, wow, this is going to be another really long video, I'm sorry. And then, so I think, I can't remember how we all ended, but we did end up going to that prom. And I just remember feeling really proud because I had this boy, young man by my side, my fiance. You know, everyone in school knew that we were engaged because we got engaged so incredibly young, and he was different nationality as well to everybody at school, so everyone was like, you know. But in all of that, I just felt worse than all the other girls who had the most beautiful dresses, who looked also feminine, and they had so much fun, feeling so pretty, and they had a bit of makeup on, and they had hair down the way they just, you know, wanted, and everything was just, I don't know, I think I had fun, but to be honest with you, I can't remember. I can't even remember whether I did wash my face or not, or whether my, you know, brothers and friends had words with him, and I can't remember how it ended, but I remember going to that place and not feeling like a beautiful young woman, definitely. So, so anyway, that relationship ended, and I have to say that at that time, I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated because that man, that boy man, he was quite crucial to me becoming a Christian. B, he really helped me through like the toughest years of my life, toughest year of my life, where there was like, it was the end of school, so lots of exams, there was death in the family, suicide attempts in the family, depression, and it was just crazy. And he really, really helped me through all that, like emotionally and stuff like that, but it didn't work out. And then after the breakup, I moved to England, like literally straight after the breakup, I moved to England. And in my second workplace ever, in a care home, I was single, I was missing home, I had all these body image issues, daddy issues, my heart was aching from this breakup, and there was a man at that care home, another carer, fellow carer, and he just got besotted with me, really. He just seemed like he just fell in love with me, really started, giving me all this attention and all these compliments, and just treating me like a princess, And stupid me, heartbroken me, I fell for it. And we were together for a few months, I guess, maybe 8 months or something. But in these 8 months, it was a constant fight with me, like trying to the very important thing here is to say that he was 30 years older than me, and he had gone through a divorce. He had grown-up kids, grandkids, and I was only like 21, 22, 20, well, round about there. And but yeah, this battle within me constantly of trying to like defend myself, because he was very pushy to being physical, and but then he was also kind of needy, hurt by his marriage and everything. And I was like, I was feeling like really nurturing towards him and craving that nurturing from him as well, which he did give me, but he also was pushing really hard on, like, you know, like physical things and my appearance as well. You know, he's like, oh, well, you know, you're a grown woman, you should maybe start putting a bit of makeup on, maybe you should you know, do this, do that, whatever. And the physical thing got really intense. Okay, I finished with my makeup, so maybe I should like move you guys somewhere else so I can actually, we're in my bedroom and the lighting is really bad, and hey, you can see me now, look at that. I'll try to adjust this. Here we go. Yeah, so yeah, it was incredibly intense, and then it ended with me like breaking under pressure. And sadly, sorry, I think my son is coming up, I need to pause it.